So today we are going to practice dog pose. Head up and head down. Aren't we, Baxter? Hey, are you going to help? So Baxter might be involved today. Ready? Let's get ourselves into Tadasana. Tadasana, mountain posture. And here is where we find our good poise and we rise up to our tallest stature. We create space inside and outside of our body by lifting up from the soles of our feet, raising the ankles, rising up through the shins and the calf muscles, and lifting the thighs above the knees. Getting to the buttocks and lifting the buttock cheeks and drawing the buttock cheeks together. And as you do that, you feel this natural tilt of the pelvis. Your pelvic girdle here in ancient times was known as the basin, because the basin here holds all of your internal organs. And when the basin is positioned correctly, everything settles and rests comfortably. And then you rise up through the trunk of the body, lifting the flesh on the left side, the right side, the front, the back, the lower, the upper torso. You have created a continuum, for as you lift all the lower parts of the body, everything above it just wants to rise up as well, creating this lovely lift. And Tadasana, mountain posture, will change the way you view yourself, and it will change the way other people view you too. For you will be more upstanding, upright, self-confident, self-empowered. So take a couple of moments. You might like to close the eyes here and to absorb the mountain posture, the heights that you can reach. Your human potential is infinite. So soften round the jawline, the neck and the throat. Relax your shoulders. Bring yourself, your mind and body into a state of calm composure. And this will allow flexibility and suppleness to move in. So let's begin. We're going to take ourselves from our upright mountain into a forward bend, and then we'll be working into dog pose, head down and head up, and then returning to our risen mountain. You might like to maybe watch through first as well, because we will move on to side dog, which is really empowering for the upper body and the arms. And sometimes when you watch the video and the demonstration through first, it gives you an idea of what is coming, so you are able to better prepare and to pick up any tips and techniques along the way. So, Tadasana, get that lovely tilt of the pelvis so that you have this great alignment where the head and shoulders rest centrally over the hips. And then we'll place our hands on our hips. We'll take a breath in, pulling up internally, pubis to navel, navel to breastbone. And then we'll use our thumbs as a gentle push to hinge over at the hips. And we're taking our time so that we may distribute our stretch equally and evenly throughout the whole of the legs. Uttanasana can bring around quite an intense stretch through the legs, so you want it to be equally distributed. You also want to ensure that you keep with the engagement of the stomach muscles so that they assist the spine and lend it support. Get to a point that's good for you and then release those hands
Relax the back of the neck and allow the top of the head, the crown, to point down towards the mat. Keep the legs lively, active, engaged. Take a couple of rounds of nice deep breath here. You'll feel the passive elongation through the trunk of the body, because the head, the heaviest part of the body, is now drawing the trunk downward. And then gently, let's walk those hands forward nice and slowly. Unfurrow the brow, so soften the skin on your forehead. And bring yourself into dog pose, head down. Isn't that right, Baxter? Hey? You want your ears brushing on the insides of your upper arms. That way you know your head and neck are a natural extension of your spine. You want to really stretch up from the palms of the hands, the heels of the hands, and rise up through the arms, extending the energy from the wrists up to the elbows, from the elbows to the armpits. And allow that energy to continue to rise up through the spine to the tailbone, and take the tailbone up towards the ceiling, making yourself into an inverted V shape. Nice long extension down the backs of the legs. Take time to adjust into the position, to make sure you're not stepping onto your doggy's ear. And then we're going to take a nice deep breath in as we draw the head and the shoulders forward, bringing them over the hands. Adjust if necessary, so that you can bring the body forward into dog pose, head up. So the thighs are just above the mat. You're scooping the stomach in and up, and you're again rising up through the arms, the energy coming from the heels of the hands and extending up towards the shoulders. Drop the shoulders away from the ears, unclench your teeth, and then to the next breath in, pull the tummy, lift the belly button, lift the hips and the buttocks, and take the weight of the head back into dog pose, head down. Unclench the teeth and let the breath flow. Keeping the stomach muscles engaged so that they really continue to aid the strength of the spine. And then slowly walk those hands in towards your feet. Continue up the legs, keep the chin to the chest as you restack the bones of the spine. And once the head and shoulders are up, you can soften and release back into your mountain posture. So let's go again with that. A nice deep breath in, create space, make yourself the tallest mountain that you can be, and then to the first exhalation you're taking, begin to hinge forward, taking your time, moving nice and fluidly, really allowing that sense of suppleness to manifest itself in your limbs, in your torso, the trunk of your body. Let's take any tension out of the toes. So if you find that your toes are gripping into the mat, just allow them to relax and soften as we walk our hands forward to dog pose, head down. So you want your feet to be hip width apart, your hands to be shoulder width apart. Let's bend and straighten the knees alternately, otherwise known as walking the dog, although it doesn't look as if Baxter's doing much walking at the moment. Are you a tired little puppy? So we're bending and straightening our legs alternately to give them that extra tensile stretch, allowing those heels to come closer down towards the mat. But for some of us, remembering that the heels of our feet may never reach the mat, and that's just because of compression of the bones in the feet. When there is compression of the bones, i.e. two bones connecting and meeting, no more room, no more movement can happen. It's just the way your skeleton was made. So let's now take a breath in and draw the weight of our head forward. Get our shoulders over our wrists. Into dog pose, head up. Drop those shoulders away from your ears. Relax the neck and the throat. Extend upwards through the trunk of the body. So from the hips and the belly button, you're really rising up towards the neck and throat. Keep those thighs just above the mat. And then we're going to take a breath in and really lift the stomach, lift the hips, lift the buttocks, and come back into dog pose, head down. And once again, nice and slowly walking those hands in towards your feet. Let go of the back of the neck as you draw the hands up the legs, chin to chest. Pull the tummy in, restack the bones of your spine, and return into Tadasana, mountain posture. Just take a moment here, close the eyes, tune in, breathe. So let's now go for a side dog position. Again, we're going to start with our standing Tadasana, into our forward bend, into our dog pose, head down. So let's take a breath in and create space, and then exhale, begin to hinge forward, allowing the body to soften and relax as you come into Uttanasana, forward bend. Release the tension from your toes and relax the back of the neck. And just bring those feet to be hip width apart, and then slowly starting to walk those hands forward into dog pose, head down. Can we move you, sleeping pup? There we go, look at that. Okay, so dog pose, head down. Engage the stomach, drawing the belly button back towards the base of the spine. We're then going to turn our right foot in so that our right toes turn in towards the left instep. Then let's place our left foot just gently on the top of the right foot. We're going to take our body weight forward so that the head comes to rest just over that right hand. We're then going to release the left hand and then rise it up towards the ceiling. Now you want to lift your right side of your body up towards your left, and your left side of the body up towards the ceiling. Rise up through that right hand, through the right arm, and then opening out across the front of the chest. Breathe. And then, with control, return the body back to dog pose, head down. And then gently walking those hands in towards the feet. Relax your toes. Unclench your teeth. Have your chin on your chest as you bring yourself to stand upright. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, take those shoulders back. Get the shoulder blades towards each other. And just shake the arms out. Release. And then we're going to go onto the other side.
So, you know, a nice deep inhalation. We're going to think of pulling up internally, pubis to navel, rising up through the torso, lift the flesh, and then hinge forward. You can walk the hands down the legs. You can just take yourself into that fluid downward pull. And then let's walk our hands forwards, dog pose, head down, get yourself into that nice position of an inverted V. Unclench your teeth and ensure that the breath is flowing. And we're then going to turn our left foot in, so our left toes turn in towards our right instep. And then we'll place our right foot onto our left. We're then going to bring the weight of our head over our left wrist and hand, and we release the right hand to go up towards the ceiling. Rise up through that left arm, open out across the front of the chest, lift the left side of your body to the right, and then gently and under control, thank you Baxter, bring the hands back, dog pose, head down, and then we'll walk our hands in towards our feet and just release for a moment. You might like to catch the alternate elbows with hands here. Let your head drop through the hole that you have made with your arms. Really getting a rich flow of oxygenated blood into the head. Great for the skin and the hair. And then you can either release the hands and walk them up the legs, or if you want to engage the stomach and work the core muscles, keep the insides of the upper arms either side of the ears, and then pull the stomach in and begin to rise up. But only really do this if you think you have the strength in your core. And then once you release, once you reach the centre, release. Tadasana, mountain posture. Just close the eyes. Now you may notice that the heart is beating a little faster than normal because of that extended exertion of strength and activity, enlightened activity. So allow the breath to deepen now. Take more time over your inhalation and your exhalation. And that will bring the heart rate to return to normal. So that is a dog pose, head up, head down, and side dog. Dogs are very flexible. If you watch them and their activity, you can incorporate it into your practice. They might even like to join in with you. Now I just want to show a variation of that as well. If you find that side dog is too much for your wrists, you can do it on your forearms. So let's have a go at that now. So if you bring yourself into a tabletop position and then bring your left forearm to the mat, lift the legs away from the mat, and again just turn that left foot inwards and put your right foot on top. You can then release the right hand and just rest it along the right leg. and breathe. Again, thinking about the left side of the body lifting up towards the right and the right side lifting up towards the ceiling. And then release. Thank you. And let's go on the other side. So from the tabletop position, place your right forearm onto the mat and then just extend your legs away, getting them onto the tiptoes and bringing the legs away from the mat. Rotate your right foot in, place your left foot on top of your right foot. And then coming onto the side. Let the breath flow. Still pulling the stomach in so that it aids the strength of the spine. And then release. And from here, let's go into a child pose. So bring the buttocks to the heels of the feet. A nice stretch through the body as you bring the forehead down to the mat. And then bring the arms to rest in line with the legs, the fingers pointing in the same direction as the toes. You might like to just rotate across the forehead, massaging out any tension. Let go. Soften across those upper back muscles. Open out the shoulder blades. Release the shoulders and the arms. And then pull the belly button to the base of your spine. Bring the chin to your chest. Restack the bones of your spinal column to bring yourself up. Coming into a finishing position of Svanasana, happy posture. Baxter, he's enjoying his little snooze there. So bring the hands to the chest. Give yourself thanks for your practice. Have gratitude for everything you have in your life. Focusing on that and those great things rather than anything you don't have. And be safe in the knowledge that yoga is good for you. Come on, little boy. Come on. How supple you are, Baxter.